Whether it's drugs like painkillers or alcohol, people with addictions try to hide it, keep it a secret. So how can you spot the signs and what can you do to help your loved one? Well, joining us now with some insight is the founder of the Gracer Medical Group in San Ramon and the author of this book, A New Prescription for Addiction, Dr. Richard Gracer, and he's joined by one of his patients, Lisa Honore. Hi, thank you so much for both. Thank you both so much for coming in. Lisa, let's start with you. You have just triumphed, overcome. Your story is so inspirational. When I read about you, I heard that you were taking as many as 60 painkillers a day at one point.
Yes, I was.
Yeah, tell us, how bad did it get for you?
Well, 60 pills a day is about how bad it got. Just having a long history of pain and surgeries, just over time, I became completely addicted. And 24 hours, 7 days a week, I was taking pain medication.
Yeah, you had horrible menstrual cramps.
Yes,
That's how it started,
did. That's how it started when I was 12. And then they diagnosed me with endometriosis at 21. So then I continued to have 7 surgeries total. So just over that time, at 31, I crossed over that line and I began to abuse the pain medication.
How did you get your hands on 60 pills a day?
I saw lots of doctors, hundreds of doctors.
To get prescriptions?
Yes, I did. I would use different names. I would call in prescriptions, whatever it took to keep my habit going.
And what was it that caused you to finally reach out for help?
Well, I had tried to get help many times, going to rehabs, and it just was not successful. I could not stay clean and sober. The cravings were so severe, and I went on the internet, and that's how I found Dr. Gracer and the Subutex program.
Okay, Dr. Gracer, your program is revolutionary. People just praise it highly. When we think about addicts, though, you think about people like on street corners. I mean, it's like middle class. I mean, who are your clients? Patients.
Well, yeah, I like to say that the treatments are revolutionary. Our program is something, we put it together, it's very comprehensive, and we use these treatments. But the thing that's really amazing is that about 13% of the middle-class population has got these problems. So you go to a restaurant, you're at the football game, maybe at the Oakland Raiders game, maybe a little higher than 13%. But, you know, I'm just laughing, but you know what I mean.
People we know.
Everybody you know. You have no idea. Lisa, you wouldn't have any idea that she had this problem. And the thing is, they're desperate to stop. She tried like 10 times to stop. And, you know, just ask. And our message is that we can help. There are these new treatments that really do work.
Okay, what makes your program work? Why is your program so effective? How is it different from those traditional detox programs that we always hear about?
Yeah, well, what happened to Lisa was detox, home, go to AA or something like that, but they never treated the brain disease. So what we're doing now is we're realizing that addiction is a brain disease, whether it's cocaine, methamphetamine, alcohol, which we treat with something called Prometa, or the opiates, which we use buprenorphine and Subutex. That's what Lisa has so successfully used. We actually work on the brain receptors to stop the craving. Then we can let them heal. But these people have lives that are in ruins. So we also go at the psychologic, psychiatric, nutritional, even acupuncture, and we keep them in at least a year into therapy.
Yeah. So, Lisa, how has the program helped you?
The cravings, I have not had any cravings since I have been on Subutex. 2 years and 2 months, not one craving. So I have been able to get well, get healthy without having to take the Vicodin. I couldn't stop taking it. So that was what saved my life, is just the cravings diminished completely.
So this must be the best and the most hopeful feeling you've had in a long time.
The best. The best. I don't remember ever feeling this way because most of my life has been with pain. So it's a miracle. It works. It's a miracle.
Yeah, it's wonderful to hear that you're just on the speedy recovery, road to recovery, and it's just very inspiring. So what are the signs? I mean, we live with these people every single day. What do we look for?
Well, unfortunately, sometimes you can't tell. But, you know, the obvious things are late for work, not keeping social engagements, obvious intoxication. Sometimes, the family doctor is the last to know. And with her type of addiction, a lot of times the doctors are the people who start the addiction process with the pain medicine, but then the patients take it over, don't get me wrong. However, many, many patients are on these prescription drugs, and they get their prescription every month. They are not abusing it, but they just can't get off. So if you know that you're on these kinds of pills, and there's a way that you're kind of thinking that maybe I should do something different, you probably do have a problem. But if you suspect you have a friend or a family member, just ask. These people really are desperate to stop. People who are addicted are not doing it to have fun. They're doing it to keep from feeling bad.
Is addiction a genetic thing, or is it specific to the person who is the addict?
Well, it's genetic to a large extent. It has to be the exposure to the substance and also the proper genes. So about 30%, let's say, of the population have tendencies for this. People in Lisa's situation very often have been an alcoholic, let's say, and 10 years later they're totally dry, they've done very well, they have an operation. They can't get off, or cocaine or something else. So this is very genetic. Methamphetamine, which I know we're not talking about, is not Lisa's problem at all, of course.
Right.
Methamphetamine will addict anybody and destroys your brain. And that's what's wrong with these drugs, that even after you are detoxed, you are not completely free of it. Your brain is sick for a very long time. So these new treatments are aimed at fixing that, and then the nutritional things we do really help you get better.
Well, Dr. Gracer, Revolutionary Treatments, a wonderful program over at the Gracer Medical Group in San Ramon. Really appreciate the book is a new prescription for addiction. Lisa, thank you so much for coming in and sharing your story.
Thank you. You're
Thank you
welcome.
both so much.
Thanks for having us here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see you
See you
tomorrow.
tomorrow. Bye.
Tomorrow on The View from the Bay, the great Christmas tree debate.